probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish the story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do. Push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Good morning, how everybody out there doing today. It's your boy, Coach Lee. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Insight Show, brought to you every Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central. You know how we like to do it around here. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We're going to take some in-depth looks at the injury updates, start them and sit them and game picks. But before we can get it started, got to bring my man on. Man, I hope he's in a good mood today because it was a rough one for him yesterday. Holla out to my man Jake, not from State Farm. How you doing this morning, brother?
Oh, not bad. I just, yesterday we got beat up pretty bad. Being those Buckeye fans, I'm not feeling it today. But I'm in a great mood because it's the football Sunday. I'm excited. I did see there were some decent upsets yesterday, though. I think A&M beat LSU. That was interesting.
They did.
So. The only thing that would have saved Ohio State, right? The only thing that would have saved Ohio State making the playoffs is if Notre Dame could have done their job. But can't get help everywhere. But we'll keep working. Maybe we'll make it.
We appreciate you hanging out with us, man. As always, we like to have fun, hang out, talk our stuff, represent our team, and hopefully give you some pointers that help you win, unless you're playing one of us. But man, we're gonna jump right into it this morning. We got some injury updates. Let me see. Yes, sir. Got that new and improved.
Nice. Moving up.
But so right off the bat, I kind of forgot about this guy. He did good. Well, he started off slow, did good. I thought he was still playing. I didn't know he had been out for a little bit. But Josh Jacobs, with the calf injury, is likely to play today as the Raiders. Shout out to you, Dominique. Play the Seahawks.
Yeah, if they want a chance of winning that game, they're going to need Josh Jacobs because Derek Carr, you can't trust him with the ball too much to try to get it to Devontae Adams. A lot of their main heavy offensive get points is through Josh Jacobs in that running game. Right. So him playing is big. That'll definitely help them get a chance, but I don't think they have a chance against Seattle after the way that they're coached and how they're playing. So having him, even injured, big help for that team.
I would agree. It's amazing how when Seattle, we thought that was a wrap. But this is week 12. They're leading their division. They're fighting off San Francisco hard. And, as you just stated, they should be the favorites going into this game.
And it's a home game, too, for Seattle.
Yeah, 12 man in effect. Deebo Samuel with the hamstring injury is expected to play in week 12. Sounds like he's been dealing with that hamstring for throughout the season. They're playing the Saints, Unk's team. So according to Ian Rappaport, he looked like himself at practice on Friday, but he was limited for most of the week. And they've been leaning on Christian McCaffrey more. Hopefully he stays healthy. But it's definitely a big boost for Jimmy G. How do you think Debo feels in today?
Being honest about it, I don't think that the hamstring is such a hard, injury to gauge and to keep healthy. And if he needs more time off, they really seriously need to think about letting him sit out one more week. I mean, just look at the Cincinnati Bengals with Jamar Chase. He was back in practice. He was playing just like Debo is. You need to make sure you're fully healthy because there's a bunch of people around Cincinnati that are more than pissed off that Jamar's not playing. It's like you need time to heal. You need everything to be good before you go back out there. You just re-injure yourself. So I wouldn't push Debo too hard. They do have Brandon Ayuk, and they have there's another receiver. I can't think of his name right now. You have two receivers that are fine to work and can play. You got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield and his backup, who is still Jeff Wilson, right?
Yes.
You still got Jeff Wilson, and then you got George Kittle playing tight end. You still have plenty of weapons to be able to work. I understand Debo's a main big part of that offense, but you have weapons. Let your star player, no matter how much you like George Kittle, no matter how much people like Christian McCaffrey, the star of the team is Debo Samuel. Let your star be healthy and get healthy so that you can make a decent playoff run. I don't think he should play today, but if he plays, it's going to be major. But again, this is against, no offense, Unc, but this is against the New Orleans Saints. This team might as well be the New Orleans Aints, just like they were back in the past. They need to, I don't know, they just need to, this would be a game to let them take off,
Right. Hey, good morning to you, Anthony. I agree with you, man. And he get Justin Fields out of there, man, before he get beat down. So this one here is surprise, but not a surprise. But they just keep taking L's throughout the season. Allen Robinson is not likely to play with an ankle injury. It's like the Rams are just trying to get this season wrapped up and literally limp to the finish line.
Yeah, pretty much. Because you know what really sucks is that me and you both talked about this and both agreed and said Allen Robinson's going to be a big part of this offense now. You're going to watch this guy show out. He went 2 weeks with 2 touchdowns. 2 weeks ago he got a touchdown. Last week he got a touchdown. He was on the rise. He was doing it. Him and Van Jefferson were splitting well. Matthew Trashford stepped down and they're playing different quarterbacks. And this guy's getting more involved. And now he's injured. That sucks, especially for a lot of fantasy owners expecting him to take a lot of the workload. So I don't know. I'm more upset not on the fantasy aspect, but on the fact that I've been an Allen Robinson lover and talking nothing good things about him, saying everywhere he's gone, they just blackballed him and used him as the scapegoat because that's what started in Jacksonville. Look what this man worked with in Chicago. He had nobody throwing to him, and he tried to make something happen out of nothing. And then he goes to L.A. where Matthew Stafford only knows how to throw to Cooper Kupp. He's been a scapegoat for everything, and then he goes out there and he finally gets a chance to show out, and he gets hurt. I mean, I can't feel more bad for him. He belongs. Maybe I'm being biased, but he belongs in New England.
Okay, to be the feature guy.
Yes, 100%, because Nelson Aguilar just ain't it.
And that part's unfortunate. Devin Duvernay, hamstring injury, expected to play this week. This late in the season, all these hammies, is that conditioning? Is that from a lack of contact throughout the season, or the lack of contact practices, rather? What do you think is causing all these hamstring injuries?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I mean, you got to bring it back to probably the diet that these guys are on, because a lot of these guys aren't eating like they used to back in the 80s. Because I don't know, maybe if I'd have to ask my dad and find out what the injuries were like back in the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Because back then, those guys were eating hot dogs, Kit Kats, and drinking Coke on the sideline, and these guys are all about eating their protein shakes. Drinking their protein shakes, eating apples and whatever, and trying to stay as healthy as can be. I'm like, your body's just not, built up the way it's supposed to be for a capable hit, I guess. I don't know. I would bring it back to a diet, because these guys in the NFL, It's night and day, even in the NBA. Look at the centers in the NBA. Back then in football, these guys were big, built, muscular, some fat, not very many skinny. I'm like, in this day and age, you got offensive linemen that look like they should be playing defensive end. Defensive ends looking like they should be playing safeties. These wide receivers are as big as sticks somewhat. These guys just aren't built to take the hits. But hamstring could also be a conditioning thing. That's the weird part.
Anthony says, I noticed since Warner started, it's been more injuries.
Yeah,
And it
the winter also does bring the stiffness in the body. So, I mean, you get hit guys in Green Bay, guys in New England, anything up in the north like that, heck, even Seattle. I mean, those teams up north, it's cold, frigid, you get hit hard, it don't feel good, and you're more liable, not break a bone, say so, but you're definitely more to, tear a muscle or something for sure, strain something.
Right. Good morning to you, Cedric. Appreciate you hanging out with us, brother. Good morning to you, Jamie. He says, explains why the refs are so soft on them now.
Shit.
We got we couldn't have an injury report without a Ravens running back on it. So we got Gus Edwards with
it's
a knee.
Now.
Yeah, it is. Knee and hamstring, but he's expected to play, but he hadn't played since week 8. How effective is he going to be today?
None at all. I'm sorry. The hype that was around Gus Edwards to be anything, as in like an Alexander Mattson to the Ravens, it wasn't going to happen. He had a lot of hype into the week that he was coming back to take over for J.K. Dobbins after he was injured and done for the season.
Mm-hmm.
He goes out there and gets hurt, and he's gone. Like you said, since week 8, a ton of people picked him up on their fantasy teams just for him to get 3-4 points the week he played and then go out completely again. I put no stock and I have no faith in any Ravens player running back whatsoever.
Right. Well, they're all RB2 anyway, because we know who RB1 is.
Yes.
Jamie says, let me down 2 seasons in a row. Watch my injuries. She talking about Gus, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah. It was definitely Gus because she had him last year. Look, it took me a second to realize what you were saying. Yes, Lamar Jackson is the main running back in Baltimore. I don't know why that took me so long to connect. You said that, I was just like, yeah. Oh, he's talking about Lamar.
Oh, and this next injury report, man, I'm thinking this guy, they may just need to maybe send him another. They may need to sit the season, but Chase Young is unlikely to play this week with a knee injury.
Unless Washington does a complete, they don't even need to do a 180. They just need to do a 90. They are so close to being in that, hey, we're talking about the East being the best conference in football. We're in that conference, and we can be one of them teams, especially when Carson ain't playing. So go ahead and rest this guy up and then try to see if he can play, because if they can get anywhere near a playoff spot, let them do it. But you got to be healthy and have the healthy players. Don't start Wentz the rest of the year. Trade him to some team like Houston that needs a quarterback really, really bad that they're willing just to take anybody.
Right.
Give him to him, have him, get a draft pick, get 2 draft picks, take Brandon Cooks from him. Do something, get something for him, and then just keep Heineke until you really see a super splash in free agency, which won't happen. Or you see a quarterback you really like in the draft and draft up and get him, like the Chargers did with Justin Herbert. That's all they got to do.
You may be onto something there, man. Wentz to Houston for Cooks. I kind of like that, even though Wentz is washed. If so, that'll be his 4th team in 4 years. But it helps out, adds to that speedy receiving core. that Washington already has. I kind of like that.
It would help.
See who does we have here? Cedric has a question for us. Latavius Murray or Rashard White in the PPR league?
Tavius Murray even a running back too now?
Well, he's the only one in Denver now. I think he started.
Yeah, I mean,
Gordon.
it's really hard because Rashard White, I believe he took over the starting spot in Tampa Bay, didn't he? Because Leonard Fournette's out.
Yes.
Huh. That's a good one. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of a nod to Rashard White. To be honest,
I would agree with you.
As much as I like the Latavius Murray idea, being in Denver, being the featured back, I just think Rashard White's got more of a ceiling and a up and up for a fantasy reason.
And as we know, as history says, any running back that plays with Brady is going to get touches through the air.
Oh, 100%.
So I would say go with Rashard White in that PPR league. John Cutter says, was offered Tua and Andrews in exchange for Mahomes and Dulcich. Should I do it?
Coach, I'm letting you take that one. I like Mahomes too much to give an answer. Remember my trade. Remember my trade that I told you about a couple weeks ago. I straight up traded Lamar Jackson for Patrick Mahomes because of how bad I wanted Pat Mahomes on my team. So that just shows.
Man, that's a hard one. Tua's got arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league. So the explosive plays are there. Andrews is, man, he's right there with Kelsey when healthy, as far as fantasy points especially. But Mahomes, the explosive offense, all those tools and toys he has right now, man, that's a hard one. I would probably lean towards who's your running backs? I think it's just me.
Where?
I'll probably say again.
Where'd you say running backs from where?
I wonder who his running backs are. That kind of help. That would kind of help.
Yeah, that would help
with my recommendation on that. Because I think Mahomes, obviously, he's going to put up the points for you. But Andrews is back. He's healthy. He's Lamar's safety valve. He puts up double-digit points. Let me see. He has
Najee Harris and Nick Chubb.
And Chubb. Chubb won't do his thing. Harris is a hit and miss.
He only plays good against the Bengals, let's be real.
Oh, Harris.
Yeah. He had 20-something points on my bench, man. I was pissed.
And Dolchis he's in Denver. I'd probably pull the trigger on that, man. Because I think the points going to be pretty similar with Tua. He's playing at the MVP level when healthy. Him and Mahomes kind of almost watch each other out, and Andrews is the difference maker there. I'd probably go with that. It's me.
And I would, again, I'm not trying to, play favorites or nothing, because as much as I love Patrick Mahomes, I think Tua can get a ton more points, and I don't know why. I just offered Tua and Andrews in exchange, so you're giving up Mahomes and the tight end. Yeah, I think Andrews God, that's tough. Yeah, I'd pull the trigger too. I'm not trying to be a Patrick Mahomes biased guy here, but Tua's going to get the points just because of who he's got at receiver. Andrews, to me, he's hit and miss, at least from what I've seen this year, but he can blow up at any point.
It's true. He is a wide receiver one there. He plays tight end.
Yes.
But he's the wide receiver one.
Well, so hopefully they help play. It's just that you got one play, offensive line, tight end, go that way. Patriots got burned on it like 5 times.
It looked like a Tecmo Bowl play.
And by the way, so no one absolutely at home is confused because I know that I'm going to get questions for it. Yes, I am 100% a New England Patriots fan, but my wife would kill me if I wouldn't wear this Bengals jersey on football Sunday when the Patriots ain't playing. I just felt the need. I had to clear that up.
We appreciate that because you probably have some questions out there. Good morning to you, Bailey. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Jamie says Andrew is so iffy because he's coming back from injury, right? But he's the number 1 target. That is true. And then somebody asked, is that trade a redraft or dynasty? Oh, man, he's got A.J. Brown and CD. Man.
How many people you got in this league?
Man. That's nice. That would definitely do that trade, man.
Yeah, for sure.
CD looked like he finally woke up. He's hearing all that OBJ talk. He's trying to be the number 1. Yeah, I would definitely do that, man.
We gotta put a little piece of that whole OBJ story at the end of this show. Just saying, not a whole lot of it, maybe like a 10-minute bit of it, but that's it. Yeah, you got to put ETN in there. That's my opinion.
I think I know about. I'll ask ETN or Walker. Yeah. Let's see. If it's a dynasty league, I say no. Keep 2 and Andrews. I think that's from Cedric. Yes, Jamie Debo is expected to play. He was limited in practice this week, but he is expected to play today. And Anthony says, Jets defense or Ravens defense?
Jets are going against a Justin Fieldless Bears, and the Ravens are going against – who are the Ravens going against? I got it on here somewhere. Baltimore, Jackson. Ooh. The Ravens are going against Jacksonville, and the Jets are going against a Justin Fieldless Bears.
I wrote the Jets because their offense has just found their identity, and he's the major component of it.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to give it to the Jets defense. When they played the Patriots last week, they absolutely took it to them. Mac Jones may have had the best game of his season so far, but they were still able to give up no touchdowns other than a kick return. That says something about the special teams, not the defense. The defense shut them down.
And Trevor Siemian is getting a start today. And Nathan Peterman is his backup.
Just imagine if he goes down, one of the worst rated quarterbacks in the entire NFL, and getting a chance to get back in there. How does he even have a job?
I know, right? I think Carson Wentz is better than him.
There ain't no question.
Devin Duvernay is expected to play another hamstring injury. Demarcus Robinson expected to play with a hip. Let me see. Logan Thomas is expected to play in week 12.
What? He's coming back finally for the 3rd time this year?
He was out with the rib and the illness.
Look, no hate to Logan Thomas, seriously. No hate to the guy. I know you probably got a little bit of animosity towards him because of the whole Washington what the fuck situation. But he was such a staple on my team for the last 2 years that this year I finally gave up on the guy. He could get 12 points a game every game. I don't know how, but he just knew how to get the points. This year, I'm like, but he'd be injured 4 to 6 games a year, so you'd have to find something for that week. But it's like, I can't do that this year. I need something solid. That's why in all 3 of my leagues this year, I got George Kittle in every league. And everyone just thinks that that's a stretch because George Kittle's injury prone himself, but I don't care.
Yeah, but when he's on, man, he is on. And look for him to have a big game today against the Saints. He normally does.
Yes. He tore it up last week too on Monday night. Jimmy G was on something last week. I want to know what it is. He was out there just maybe it could have been who they were going against, but all I know is he tore him up. I'm not a Cardinals fan.
That's a good segue because Marquise Brown is being activated from IR.
What's he gonna do?
I forgot he was there, but they're just slowly putting it together. You know, they got D-Hop, they got Brown, Kyler's coming back. Little too late, but right on time for fantasy owners.
Yeah, well, frickin' Kyler needs to get his shit together, man. I'm so tired of him. I've been tired of him since he's been drafted. I don't think he belongs. I'm dead serious. I'm sorry. I feel bad saying that. I just don't like Kyler. I like him more than I like Lamar. Lamar can, but Kyler, I think it's just because dudes that short should not have that much attitude against DeAndre Hopkins. He will get slapped in the next week for looking at him wrong. Plus, when he looks at him, he's got to do this. I don't know why I'm not throwing it to you.
Shout out to you, Who that to you, man? Who that?
Hey, when we come to projections, please don't be on the show, please.
It's amazing he comes in right on time and we're talking about the Saints.
Every time.
It's like that radar goes up.
Someone's talking about my ain'ts. I got to go.
Anthony says Saints lineman coming off RR, so that line might be better. Is that the rookie, right? That's fighting everybody in practice? That dude got attitude. I like that. I like a nasty lineman. James says big attitude and ego to make up for little man syndrome. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, it's facts. He's always been a dude since high school.
Oh, God, I love that. I know a bunch of Michigan fans that have that exact syndrome. Sorry, I'm still a little pissed off after yesterday.
Good morning, Bree. How you doing?
Good morning, Bree. How we doing?
Oh, man.
Your Vikings beat up on my Patriots on Thanksgiving, so my turkey didn't taste as good.
Let's see. We got obviously Zach Ertz went to injured reserve. So he might be done pretty much for the season, I would think. And he's getting a little longer
in his career.
Yeah.
He was already on the decline. He had a small resurgence last year when he got traded. This year, it's just he's right back to being Dallas Goedert's bitch.
Yeah. See, I think this is Cedric again. He says, if it's a dynasty league, I say no, keep Tua and Andrews.
No, he's getting Tua and Andrews.
That's right. That's right. Let me see.
So in the trade, he would be getting.
Yes. Yes. Bree says, I heard turkey goes best with a little skull on it.
Look, me and the Vikings got this thing. So the loss didn't hurt as bad. I like to pick an NFC team each year that'll never be the Cowboys that I like to see do well or at least do good. And I picked at the preseason that the Vikings were going to be that team this year and that they were my team to go to the NFC Championship. So you know what? The loss hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as it should. But if I didn't pick the Vikings this year to go all the way to the NFC Championship as an early bold prediction, I would be pissed.
I bet you would.
Still want that Dalvin Cook jersey.
Cousin showed out even with the INTs. And Anthony says, I just can't wait to see the Cowboys overpay for OBJ if he goes there. First off, I don't think he's coming. Yeah, you don't know Jerry. His cheap ass, well, Stephen Jones' cheap ass ain't going to overpay for him.
Shh, go. What are you doing? We don't need to hear that. Go ahead. Go to the bathroom. I'm sorry about that.
It's good, man. The adventures of being a parent. It's all good.
Right. Just don't know why. Just run up. Why are you saying that? You're good. Go ahead. You ain't got to tell me. Go ahead.
Oh, man. We got, as you said earlier, Leonard Fournette is out for week 12. So White will get the bulk of the carries. Isaiah Likely officially ruled out for week 12. I like that guy. He filled in admirably for Andrews. I started him a couple of weeks. He got me some points up in there.
Hell yeah. That's what you need.
And so he's ruled out. Jamar Chase is ruled out as he
officially.
He's officially ruled out. And as he should be, I think they're trying to bring him back too early, man. That's a hip injury. You know,
I
hip
mean, look,
injury.
it's okay to go out to the practice field and test it out a little bit, but if they said that you need to be out for 6 to 8 months, you better sit out for 6 to 8 months. Wow, 6 to 8 weeks. You better sit out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
So that's my opinion on that. It's okay to go back and try to get some work in, see how you feel, but sit out. Like you said, hip. That's the lateral movements, the turns, the twists, and everything you got to do to be a good receiver out there. It's just the only thing that I know that's pissing off the Bengals fans is the fact that it wasn't a tease. You knew what the length of the injury was. All because he went to practice does not mean that he was playing. He was going to get some workouts in. And then they really got up to the heart when they found out Joe Mixon was out for the week. I'm like, y'all beat Tennessee in the playoffs last year with the worst offensive line. Stop worrying. Just go play the dang game.
Pretty much. Anthony
Plus, they got
says,
Joe
I'm not a
Burrow and
fan
they
of
got Ryan
Sunday.
Tannehill. Right? Well, my Patriots aren't playing, so I'm the main parent today.
I've got this guy was playing. Rondale Moore. he's grown. He has a groin injury. He's ruled out for week 12. Let me see. I think
Who's he a wide receiver for? Is that the Cardinals wide receiver?
Yeah, I've got him playing.
Well, if he's out and Hollywood Brown's available somewhere, why not?
Yep.
They're going to end up losing all the
Tyler
receivers.
Higbee
Larry
is
Fitzgerald's coming out of
questionable for
retirement.
Did he ever officially retire?
I don't think he did. I think he's just literally a free agent, and he has no interest in playing.
Because I don't know.
I'd be willing
Remember
to see
seeing any official ceremony or anything like that?
Yeah, nothing. And I don't even think he ever said, I'm retired. But he's – well, is he 39 years old now?
He's got to be older than that.
He's 30. He's in between 36 and 40, I believe. I don't think he's in his 40s yet because he's only been out the league for 2 years, right? This is the second year he's been out. He didn't play last year.
He just turned 39 in August.
Yeah, see, I got a good guess out there. I'll take it. But yeah, no, he's done. We'll never see Larry again. But I'll tell you what, I love drafting him every year in fantasy football. I didn't care if I wasted a third-round pick on him or someone said it was a dumb pickup. He used to be a first-round go.
Second best receiver all time?
Oh, for sure.
I got to give him a nod over T.O. for the simple fact of the quarterbacks that he played with.
100%. Yes.
T.O. played with some pretty, T.O. had Young. He had McNabb. He had Romo. He had some pretty good quarterbacks he played with. And then,
hey, and you can say what you want about him, but he had Carson Palmer too, and Carson Palmer wasn't no slouch before he got injured.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I definitely put him at number 2. First ballot Hall of Famer without question.
Oh, no question. Jamie says the Bengals have tons of alternative targets. They'll be all right. No excuses. They do have, and they're getting Samaje more involved coming out of the backfield.
Oh, he showed out last week too. I was real happy to see what he's doing. I just don't know who their backup running back is now.
Let's see. Alvin Kamara, illness, returns to practice, will play today.
That's big for the Saints.
They need that. Mark Ingram, knee is questionable for Sunday. For today.
His bird flew away a long time ago. He ain't no big deal.
Yeah. His better days. I think he wasted a lot of productive years when he left the first time.
100%. He had that one good year in Baltimore, and that was it.
But they definitely complemented one another because I don't think Kamara's been the same since he's been moved to RB1. That's not his style to play. Kind of reminds me of what they did with Marion Barber. He had a role. He came in, he filled it, and once they tried to move him to the RB1, it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, there were 3 running backs I really liked when I was growing up and I was a kid playing in Madden, I try to get them all three on the same team. Marion Barber, Lawrence Maroney, and Steven Jackson. Have all three of them on a team in Madden, and it was so fun playing with all three backs because they were all bruisers. It was fun just being able to run people over with them.
Chris Evans is the backup.
I think he's a rookie.
Okay. David Njoku is cleared to play today with the ankle and knee injury. Teddy Bridgewater is questionable for today. And Mike Williams is out with an ankle.
He came back for a week, said hi to the Chargers fans, and said, all right, I'm going in hibernating again.
Yeah. Jerry Jeudy is out with the ankle injury.
He just needs to sit out the rest of the year.
Yeah, their season's a wrap. Lamar Jackson was on the injury report. He was limited.
Illness.
Let me see. He had appeared previously as limited on a report due to a hip injury. Probably just a little bump and bruise, more than likely. Juju Smith-Schuster is returning today from concussion.
Hell yeah.
But when they get him back, Kadarius Toney is out with the hamstring.
But I'm going to say this, and I mean this with all due respect. I saw an interview of the Chiefs, and they were running around in the locker room asking who's your favorite teammate, and they ran up and said it they got the camera right up in Kadarius Toney's face. I'm like, he looks like a weird-ass dude. I don't know why I felt like saying that, but I had to because he just kind of had that weird grin and looked like Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, what?
He looks mischievous.
Anyway, no, Juju Smith. Yes, Juju Smith is a lot. He's not better, but he's huge for that team to have on the field. If they have 4 good wide receivers, 3 of them are always injured.
Yeah.
Having him back for a switch out is great because they Scantlin, I believe, might be out. Kadarius is now out, and they have one more person that I can't think, Hardman, and then Smith-Schuster. People say that's a lot of mouths to feed, but it ain't a lot of mouths to feed when they're, out the house not playing. So right. Juju's going to need to come up big. They got that Pachinko or whatever playing running back, and they got Kelsey. Those are going to be your 3 main targets in Kansas City today, and if you got them on your team, you better play them.
I definitely agree with that assessment. Kyler Murray is ready to go for Week 12. Von Miller, we saw that he no ACL tear, but he's out indefinitely from Thursday's game.
That looked painful.
It did. AJ Brown returns to practice from illness.
Thank God, I need him.
And I think that might be it. I think I saw one more in here. And Rodgers playing tonight against Philly. It was revealed on Wednesday that he's been playing with a broken right thumb.
And he still ain't been playing too terrible. He ain't no Aaron Rodgers from 5 years ago, but he's not playing bad. It's just he's had a few off passes, and we know why now. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Why he hadn't looked quite like himself.
Yeah, because like I said, I still think Aaron Rodgers is the biggest douchebag in football, but you never like seeing good players that you've seen be good for so many years unless they're a rival do bad. So I hope he gets healthy. I don't know why people are playing through broken limbs and ripped bones. Yes, I said that backwards on purpose. But they need to just heal, man. I don't get it. I don't know why people like playing hurt. I couldn't do it. I understand playing hurt in December, but this month in particular, where I know you need a lot of your wins, that's just pointless, man. Be healthy for December when you need those last 5 wins.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's my point. That's all I got to say on it.
We're going to take our first break for the day. We'll be back about 15, 20, and we're going to come back and look at the start 'em and sit 'em. Y'all hold tight.
What's good with the people? It's Montreal McNeander. NFL linebacker for the Cleveland Browns and Grambling alumni. I had to come through today. Give a special shout out to my dudes over at STWF Media, the big brand, where you can talk sports with the other NFL players, fans in their Facebook community. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get them boys a shout out. Go check out their page. And I promise you, man, you're gonna love everything that you hear and enjoy it.
And we're back at it like we're mad at. Hey, appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. Let's get into our what was it at? What we got? Yes, sir. I'll start him and sit him. Shout out to you, Unc. So we got
real quick
before
we hop into these stardoms and situms. The comment section is going crazy today. We appreciate you guys tuning in as always.
Absolutely.
Just figuring on throwing out a little shout out to all y'all and hoping you shout us out back. Give us a share, give us a like, give us a subscribe, comment like you're already doing. We got everything you need. Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. I just found out there's an Instagram. Extremely awesome. Follow us on all those. Share us out. More people that share, more people see us, more people get to see these pretty faces.
No doubt. That's infectious now. I was talking to Unc yesterday and he hit me with that as we said our goodbyes.
Nice.
Let's see. A stardom and sit-em. Or a start of the week. Running back Jeff Wilson for Miami. Facing the 32nd ranked Houston Texans against opposing running backs. Projected 10.8 points. You see him as a starter of the week, or would you go with somebody different?
You might want to throw him at the flex position if you ain't got nobody else. And if you're definitely down a running back, the running back 2 slot, but I would not make that a primary. You said this was for Miami, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're a passing team. It's really hard to go all in on a passing team that has a running back game. So I would
sharing time.
Yes. If you need a running back, play him because he's probably going to get you some points going against Houston. Me and Coach have been probably on the Houston bandwagon a little too long. We've been giving them probably a little too much credit. They're making a quarterback change. Lovie Smith isn't enjoying himself at all. Brandon Cooks wants to leave, and this team's just abysmal now. I think I finally left the train, and I put all my eggs in the Detroit Lions basket of that's the team you need to watch out for coming soon, I think.
Right. Sorry, babes.
Oh, you're obligated. See, just like I am, you're obligated.
So a starter for quarterbacks. We've got a couple of gentlemen here. We got Tua, we got Burrow, Geno, Jimmy G, and obviously they had Dak early in the week. But who do you think has a bigger game out of those 4 today?
Out of those 4, I'm going Jimmy G. I think he's riding the lightning. He had such a good game on Monday that I don't see how you can't start this guy every week now. I'm playing him over Tom Brady. I've done it the last 5 weeks. I can't not play Jimmy G or I cannot sit Jimmy G in good faith knowing how good he's playing. He's got a swagger about him. He likes the team. I think he's fallen back in love with football. Out of them, yeah, I'm going Jimmy G, especially since, I'm sorry, Unc, he's going against New Orleans.
I can definitely see that. I will probably go with Jimmy G as well. Because Geno, I'm still not ready totally to commit to Geno. Joe's going up against a tough Tennessee team. And, Tua, he's going to light it up.
He is. That's why I said it was really tough between those two, but just the swagger Jimmy G's got right now after that Monday game going against a team that still has playoff hopes in Arizona. Right. He did that to him. I don't even remember what the score was. It might have been closer. It might have been a blowout. But all I know is Jimmy G had 30-something points. George Kittle had 20-something points. And I'm sure whoever else in company had a pretty fair amount of points just by how that whole team's playing right now. I would not want to play the Niners anytime soon is what I'm trying to say.
I would agree with that unless it's playoff time.
Exactly.
Jamie says, I think Gino's going to show out against the Raiders. Yeah, he will. The Raiders. Dominique, man.
I still haven't heard from him.
Hey, he's MIA, buddy. Our sleepers for the week. You got Tannehill, Derek Hughes Carr, and Kenny Pickett. Man, that's some slim pickings there, boy.
Yeah, I got no.
I can't sign up for either one of those as sleepers.
Sit all of them. No, Pittsburgh literally only plays good against the Bengals. That's it. Every year. It doesn't matter. The only team they know how to play good against is the Bengals. So no. Kenny Pickett, no. Ryan Tannehill, come on.
I think they should be with this next group of the sit-em.
Yeah. All right, let's hear it.
Marcus Mariota, Russ, Trevor Lawrence.
Now, man, I see like that hurts. I'm a Trevor Lawrence believer. I want him to do so good. I really do. I don't think he's a bust. I just think he's in the wrong team. These young quarterbacks get drafted to the wrong teams because the worst teams gets the best college quarterback, and that's wrong. But yeah, all the three that we named before above, yeah, they need to drop down to that. And I still wouldn't start anyone in the sit-ems either.
Right. Trevor, obviously this in his year. I saw a little bit of growth in him, but I think he's really going to take a step when Frank Wright becomes his OC next year.
Calling it now?
Calling it now.
I like it. Oh, hey, hold on real quick. I don't mean to interrupt. Since we're talking about coaches at the second, did you hear about Matt Rule getting the Nebraska job?
Yeah, that surprised me. It's going to be hard to recruit there.
Yeah, it is. But see, we talked about this, I think, earlier in the week about Nebraska used to be a powerhouse, and they've been absolutely nothing since.
Osborne left.
Yep. Yes. I don't understand it. Matt Rule made enough to retire. All he had to do is sit at home. He could have taken a job at a broadcasting booth. He could have done anything he wanted. And he decides he wants to go coach Nebraska, a Big Ten team that gives a want by everybody.
Ego. It's simply ego. He don't like the way he got fired from his last job. Yeah, everywhere he's been up until now, he's left it better than he found it. That didn't happen this time. So I think this is all ego driven. Like say he's got all the money, got the guaranteed money, still getting paid by the Panthers. Will be for the next couple of years, I'm assuming, depending on how long that contract is remaining. I think he just re-upped, if I'm not mistaken.
It was either this year or last year.
It was recent. But yeah, that's, to be honest, he never should have left Baylor. He had Baylor trending upwards to start to compete for a national title year after year.
You got to think where he got his notoriety from, too. I mean, he started at Temple. And then he went somewhere, I believe, before Baylor, and then the Panthers. Yeah, you're right. You know what? It took me a second. Yeah, that's an ego thing for sure.
So he was, what'd you say, Temple, right? He went to, he was an assistant with the Giants. So he went from Temple to Baylor to Carolina.
All right. I thought there was something in between. I guess I was wrong. I thought I heard it yesterday while they were talking about it during Big Noon. But, well, good luck at Nebraska. I think you're going to suck. But that's just my opinion.
And you know what's weird? His offense is, I think of his, when I think of him, I think of a pass-first offense. And you're going to Nebraska, where the weather is going to be in the fall, weather's going to be bad. Is the reason why they had a ground and pound type of offense up there.
Yeah, their running backs are always good. I remember just hearing about all the stories my dad told me about how tough it was for Ohio State to play Nebraska. Because I got lucky. I was born in the time when Ohio State was good. My dad had to go through the times when Ohio State wasn't all that great.
Yeah. I remember those times.
But we're not talking about that right now. So what's the next subject here?
We got our in the bust alert. They have Aaron Rodgers as the bust alert.
Is that just because of the broken thumb, or because it's going against Philly?
I'll probably say a combination of both, because Philly is ranked number 1 against opposing quarterbacks.
I couldn't put him at bust of the week. I put him at sit him, but I couldn't put him as a no bust of the week.
Right.
I put Sam Darnold. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just being a dick because he ain't played all year, and I've been a hater of this dude ever since he came out of college. Actually, ever since he was in college. Sam Darnold's on the bust of the week alert.
Should be, most definitely. And me, I'm biased because Rodgers, unfortunately, owns my Cowboys. So I just for the simple fact of that, I could never.
That's fair.
Running backs to start. We got Devin Singletary, James Conner, Antonio Gibson, and Miles Sanders.
Antonio Gibson, I could see because they're going against Atlanta. Devin Singletary couldn't do shit against Detroit, so their running game sucks. Miles Sanders, I don't know. Green Bay's defense.
It's one of those things,
so,
man.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things. It's going to be. I think it's going to be Hurts getting a lot of those carries.
Yeah, that's fair.
The RBOs.
Who was the other running back? I missed the other one.
Antonio Gibson.
No, I got him. It was I talked about Singletary, Gibson, and Sanders.
Conner,
Arizona?
Yep.
Nah. I guess the only one I think about playing would maybe be Miles Sanders. And by the way, I will never, ever say start a Buffalo running back. No, not right now. He doesn't need to see your action figures.
Sleepers, we got Latavius Murray, Kenyon Drake, Rashad White, Michael Carter, Pacheco.
Give them all a chance. I like that list a lot. Great picks. I mean, I'm game for all of them.
I'll probably put those over the starts.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Carter for the Jets, he showed that he could actually run the ball pretty well before within the last 2 weeks because James Robinson just ain't been doing it. Pacheco's been highly talked about the last 4 weeks. Like, start him over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You named a few others, but they're all guys going against, teams that are very easily winnable against and getting a lot of points against.
Right. Running back to sit, Kareem Hunt, Cordell Patterson, Cam Akers.
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yeah, Cam Akers, Cordell Patterson, and Kareem Hunt.
I would never say sit Cordero Patterson just because of the explosiveness he has as being a kick returner, a wide receiver, and a running back.
Opportunities in fantasy. He touches the ball in several different ways.
Exactly. He can do anything. And I didn't want to have this argument, but if Devin Hester has a chance of going into the Hall of Fame, Cordero Patterson does too. He does everything Devin Hester does, maybe better, in my opinion. And he's on the field more, is what I'm trying to say. He does more than Devin Hester did. Devin Hester just returned. Yeah, right. They throw him at a wide receiver every now and again, but he wouldn't do anything else. So if Devin Hester can get into the Hall of Fame for what he did, Cordero deserves it too because he broke a record last week, I believe, what I heard. So
yeah, I think he broke the record for kickoff returns.
Yes, I would never sit Cordero Patterson knowing what he can do. So yeah, out of that list, I think you need to take Cordero off the list.
Agreed. Bust alert, Deontay Foreman.
Yeah, he's hot cold. 1 week,
Yeah.
he'll have 40-something points. The next week, it's 3. Next week, back up to 30. Week next, 2. Too hot and cold. No, I don't put so much stock into him either. As much as I
Agreed.
want to, and I fell right into that hole of picking him up. I picked up Isaiah Pachenko I really want to know how to say his last name, from Kansas City, and I'm going to start him because I think he's got the highest ceiling out of any running back we don't know, because we've seen it's been you ever been to a nice hotel and they got those doors that does the circle you got to walk through? That's the NFL running back scheme right now. You walk in the door and you just keep going in the circle, and whichever one comes out gets the starts.
Agreed.
I don't know what that's called, like a carousel or something.
Wide receiver stardom: Tyler Lockett, Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk, Michael Pittman, and Jacoby Myers.
I just stick up for that guy over and over again against Taquan.
Myers?
Yes. No, not Myers. Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
You got to start Ayuk. He was giving me some stuff. The 1 week I said, yeah, see, too, what I tell you about Brandon Ayuk, what's his numbers look like? I need somebody, because I ain't got an iPad in front of me today, to go back and look at what Brandon Ayuk's numbers and fantasy points have been the last 4 weeks. He's averaged, I believe, 20-something points the last 4 games. If you don't have him on your team and you don't have him starting, you don't want to win. But, yeah, no.
He's a viable option in that offense. It seemed like he definitely has the chemistry with Jimmy G. With all the other weapons that are on there and the focusing on them, he's like the forgotten man, and he's taking advantage of the situation.
Yes. We got to watch Debo. We got to watch Kittle, and we got to watch McCaffrey. Who's got Ayuk? Oh, he's already in the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes every time. And Ayuk, he is really good. Like I said, the day 2 gave me stuff about that 4 weeks ago. I was so mad. I'm like, watch him blow up now just because you did that. So,
and here we are.
I'm very happy that I was proven right. Yes, I was very happy I was proven right. Nothing against you, Taquan. You're great. I hope you're having a great Sunday. I hope you had a great holiday. But I've never been more happy to be right about Brandon Ayuk. Pittman, yeah, go ahead and give Pittman a nod. Jacoby Myers got hurt on Sunday, and I'm worried about that. But he did get hurt, but he did not. It wasn't detrimental to the team. So they were going to lose either way. I thought they were going into that game, and they were going to get blown out, and they only lost by a touchdown. They had a few missed opportunities, but they also had a lot of stuff handed to them as well. They played good. Mac had a hell of a game. And there was one more receiver on your list, but I think I just kind of let it go over my head. But Brandon Ayuk and Pittman.
Godwin and Lockett? Which one we missed?
Those 2.
Okay.
You're the one that sold me on Lockett. I play Lockett every week now, especially over Adam Thielen, even though Thielen had a great game last week. You sold me on Lockett. I play Lockett every chance I get now, unless I have my 2 top receivers playing, A.J. Brown and DeAndre Hopkins. Then it's maybe who am I throwing in flex?
Oh, Bree bringing some knowledge with us today. In all, Ayuk's last 4 games have seen him earn 35 targets that he turned into 27 catches, 330 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And if you take that over the full season, those numbers add up to 115 receptions for 1,402 and 13 turnovers. Bree, man, you own it this morning, man.
Thank you, Bree. That was excellent. Yeah, no, I'm trying to sell people on Ayuk. I think he's a great wide receiver too. He's a great compliment to Debo.
Yeah.
I think Breeze sold everybody on him. I don't even think I need to do it anymore.
That was excellent. Bree coming here with that hot fire, hot fire, hot fire.
And we appreciate it. We just keep on flooding that comment section, and I love it. Bring them on.
See, we got our sleepers. We got this guy was in the league. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Greg Dortch. Even though he even played, Josh Palmer.
Yeah, same.
Sky Moore, Demarcus Robinson. I'm not buying that. He's a wide receiver for the Ravens. No way I'm putting him on the sleeper.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You named two guys that I know, and I don't know who the other three are. Sky Moore, I only know him because of the draft this year, and then the first and second guy you said. I forgot the name.
Donovan Peoples-Jones for the Browns.
Didn't even know he played.
Greg Dortch for the Cardinals. Had no idea who he is. Josh Palmer, we've talked about him a couple of times. He's been bumped up with all the injuries they've had at that position.
He was supposed to come out and be the next great Chargers wide receiver when Keenan and Mike Williams went out.
Right.
But he, like you said, got caught up with the injury bug. He couldn't do nothing.
And Bailey says, well, shit, thought Dobbins would be back this week and Chase too. Unfortunately, man, I think Chase, I'm seeing him maybe week 13. I think that's still pushing it.
Yeah, I think he'll be back.
Injury.
They're definitely going to need him week 15 or 16, whatever that game is, January 2nd against the Bills, Monday Night Football. That's way far from now, but he'll be back sooner than that, I believe. But they're definitely going to need him for that Buffalo game, and that's in Cincinnati. So they better be ready because that's going to be a tough game. Playoff hopes and dreams might get broken in that game.
It's true. Bree says George not expected to play. Appreciate that insight. Bree showing out today, man. She is on it.
I think we got us a new statistician. I love it.
I see. She's quick with it too, man. Bailey says, I need to win out to even have a shot at the playoffs. I got a couple of those too, my friend. Just try to get in there so you can make a little noise.
I gave up on one lead, but I still got another one I'm good with.
Let me see. Our Siddums. DJ Moore. I think it's 2 weeks in a row for him.
Dang.
Deontay Johnson. Brandon Cooks. I can see him on there every week just due to the chemistry he has with the organization.
100%.
Yeah, I can agree with those.
Yeah, I agree with him. The only one that I kind of maybe might be on the fence on is DJ Moore, strictly because we don't know how he plays with Darnold. I haven't seen him play with Darnold in well over a year, I believe. Maybe something neat could happen today. You never know, but nah, probably not, because Sam Darnold sucks. He'll throw it to the other team before he throws it to DJ Moore. Watch, I guarantee he has an interception today, probably 3.
Good luck to you as well, Bailey. Appreciate it. Then a bust alert, Christian Watson, Green Bay facing Philly.
I mean, with a broken thumb, I don't see them doing much passing today except for flat routes and slants.
Yep. It's going to be definitely a short passing game.
Rodgers is having a hard time throwing at 15 yards. I don't see how he's going to be able to throw a deep ball if they need it.
Maybe they don't have to because, as we know, even though they had the 2 late additions to their interior line, Philly is suspect to the run, especially the inside run.
And I know he ain't done much, but Dylan, he's the bruiser of the team. They can get him to run right down the throat and then throw screen passes over to Aaron Jones.
Right.
They can have a plan to go in there and do something really big against these guys, but it all depends on how it's executed.
That's true. Last category for the stardom and sit-em. We got tight ends.
My favorite position.
Pratt Freiermuth from Pittsburgh. And the other 2 played Thursday. That was Schultz and Knox. Schultz had, he had a good game. He scored a
Schultz had a good game.
I picked up Knox. Yeah, he did. He did. I picked up Knox late.
He wasn't already on a team?
No, in the league, in this particular league I was in, he was available. I was surprised.
Dang.
Because I had to pick him up late lucky. With Pitts going to IR.
That's not bad. It's not a bad pickup at all.
No.
I believe the 2 guys that had already played on this list both had decent games. I thought I saw Knox got a touchdown, but I could have been blind. That was right around the time I had started eating, so I wasn't paying too much attention.
Trying to get
But I know
his drum
Schultz. Yeah, I think Schultz got injured though, or not. I think Schultz got injured, but I think he also had a decent game. I don't remember. He might not have got injured, but I did see he had a good game. And the other guy on the list, Pat Firemuth for the Steelers. No, not at all.
on.
Not sold at all.
No. Hey, but real quick, man. I don't know if I should be telling people this, but be on the lookout. Yeah, the Schultz is the starter in Dallas, but those two rookies, they got a lot of chemistry with Dak and Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson. That's a little gem for you. Ferguson should be available in your league.
Hey, this is a Fantasy Football Insight Show. Get you good insights here.
Sleepers, Gerald Everett, Jawan Johnson, Austin Hooper. I forgot he was in the league too.
I'm telling you right now, from experience, if you don't have Jawan Johnson on your team, go out and pick him up. He has averaged a touchdown in his last 3 games. He is playing the tight end position the way that Taysom Hill should have been playing it. He's out there. He's catching balls. He's making plays, getting touchdowns, making Andy Dalton look like he knows how to use a tight end. Get Jawan Johnson. Everybody else in the league can go retire.
Hot sports opinions. Let me see.
I had to. I mean, I think Unc would even agree with me. Jawan, I asked him about Jawan Johnson when I went to pick him up first 3 weeks ago. He said he's not really tight end number 1 because of Taysom. I'm like, he's supposed to get 8 points, and he's got like a touchdown or something, or he's got a lot of points because of receptions. I'm picking him up. Last 3 weeks, I've had him start because of bye week to Kittle, and then I had him start in my flex position the last 2 weeks, and he's got a touchdown in each game.
Okay.
I'm surprised. I'm like, I didn't even know the Saints knew how to use a tight end. Ever since Jimmy Graham left, I thought they were blind.
Man, Bree steady showing out. She said Knox without a TD catch in the last 3 weeks.
That's rough. But then again, Josh Allen's moved off of using tight ends. That's his fault. Or it could be who's their head coach? Doug Peterson, is that his name? How are you going to – the tight end was a big position for you last year. How are you about to move off of it when you got most of your help last year from it?
And
you can't – if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And that helps you, having a solid tight end game can help make up for that dismal running game they have.
Yes.
Your quarterback,
who's
not really known as a running quarterback, is your leading rusher. It says a lot.
This is why the tight end position is my most favorite position on the football field.
Same here.
These are guys in the trenches that block for the running back and block for the quarterback, but also they finally get rewarded, unlike the other linemen. They catch balls. They make plays happen. They're out there in the nitty-gritty making – exactly. They're in there with the nitty-gritty. That's why the tight end position is the most important position on a football field, and you need to have a good tight end to be successful.
Tight ends to sit: Robert Tonyan, Hayden Hurst, Evan Ingram.
I hate to say it, but I agree with Tonyan. I'm a huge fan of Tonyan. I think he deserves better. Hayden Hurst, I don't think you should ever sit him. My dad still says to this day that the Bengals underutilize him. I'm like, they pass him the ball. I don't know what you're seeing. But Hayden Hurst, I would never sit because he could blow up with the Bengals at any point. And then the last guy on your list, I already forgot, but I wouldn't start him.
Last guy, Evan Ingram, yeah.
Yeah, no, he was hot for like a game, and then he went right back to being the Giants tight end.
And the bust alert, Cole Kemet.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, yeah, I do. Never mind. Justin Fields ain't playing. That took me a minute. Justin Fields ain't playing. I'm a Cole Kmet fan, dude. There's not a – except for Mark Andrews, there's probably not a tight end on the entire NFL list that I could say I don't like. Because they're all good and they all try hard. I'm not even that big of a fan of Travis Kelce because he went to UC and I'm a Xavier fan. But I got a lot of respect for the guy. I don't like Mark Andrews whatsoever. And everybody else in the league that plays tight end, I love them all. I think they're all great. But without a good quarterback that can get you the ball, nah, you ain't going to succeed. And that's why I said Cole Kmet, he does not deserve to be on a – is that the bust alert?
Yes.
He does not deserve to be on a bust alert all because his quarterback's injured. That's highly disrespectful.
Very much so. Well, that concludes our second segment of today on the Stardom and Sid'em. We're going to come up with the third and final segment, game picks, for entertainment purposes only. We'll be back in about 15, 20. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
See you soon.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
Man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So this is actually the most fun part for me because I'm in a pretty competitive pick'em league with some teammates from high school. A lot of
y'all use this sheet?
goes on. Yeah, we do it through Yahoo.
Nice.
But we it gets pretty competitive. I started out pretty slow, but I can see myself in the top 5 family.
Now, I got a question. I got to ask this. I just got to know. So, for the sake of our show, you were superstitious. You bet against Dallas. They won. You bet against Dallas yet again the following week to pick the Giants over Dallas. When you did your pick'em league, did you pick Dallas in that league?
I did.
I knew it.
I did. Well,
see, this is why this is for
yeah,
entertainment purposes only.
I did. See, now that might change the mojo now.
Well, you never know. I guess everyone will have to tune in next week to find out what Coach Lee does.
No. The suspense.
To recap from Wednesday's show, my pick'ems went. I picked Detroit over Buffalo. I got really close, but it was wrong. I picked Dallas over the Giants. Sadly, that's the only one I got right because I did pick New England against Minnesota. But it was all games were actually, I think, except for the Giants-Cowboys game, all games were very close and very competitive. I think for Thanksgiving Day made up for all the trash games we got on Amazon.
Yes. They were all very good games. And on my pick'em leagues, I went 3-0 in those games.
Hey, there you go. So, yeah, I don't like Buffalo. I don't like a lot of teams, I guess, but I don't like Buffalo. And I really think Detroit had a chance of winning. And they really did. They did a lot more than people thought they would have with Jared Goff at quarterback. So, shout out to you, Detroit Lions, for giving Buffalo a game.
Right. Man, one thing I will say, man, that damn Dan Campbell, he's got them fighting, man. He stated it on his initial press conference. They were going to be a scrappy team, and he's delivering so far.
Yes, he is one of those players coaches. Like I said, I think I've talked about him before. He's a coach that the players want to play for. He's a tight end, baby. He wants to be in the trenches with his players. He's a coach that takes blame. He says it's on my back. It's on the players' back. Fans deserve better. I'm bringing a winning culture here. Dude, I think he's doing it. I think Detroit is scary because of who they have at coach. Not of where the players they got, but because of who they got at coach. There's a tenacity that Dan Campbell brings that Detroit has needed at that coaching position for years.
And he played the same way.
Yes, and I think he would have been coaching during the Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson era, Detroit might have won a playoff game. And that might be saying a little too much, especially since I'm giving Minnesota a lot of love this year. I shouldn't like Detroit as much as I do, but it's a lovable losers thing, man. I want Detroit to do well, and I don't even know why. But one team, I'm sorry. One team I don't ever want to see do good just because they constantly they make themselves eat crow's poop.
Who's that?
Houston Texans. I never want to see them do good. I don't know why. It's just they got so much drama and they got so much stuff in the back office to where they need to wipe the slate clean. They need to start over with everything and everybody and just refigure it out.
Yeah, it's definitely a dumpster fire down there. But that's bad karma. They should have took care of the Houston. The Oilers should have never left Houston.
Yeah, I agree. And they were nothing when they came into the league. They had a little bit of promise in the late 2000s, early 2010s with Matt Schaub at the helm and Andre Johnson.
Yep.
The defense was good with Brian Cushing, J.J. Watt, Jonathan Joseph, even though he was old, playing cornerback. And they had that one dude, Dante Robinson, at corner there for a little bit too. Yep. I mean, that team, they stacked it, and they did a well job building it up. And then they let it fall apart. They forgot how to draft. They forgot how to coach. They forgot how to do everything.
They did wrong by Kubiak, man. The way they forced him out, he built the culture there, and now here we are.
Yeah, and you know what? It's good. As much as I hate it, it's good when Texas has good football, the state, because they have probably one of the best, most entertaining next to California, and I'm biased, Ohio, for high school football. They have a lot of people that come out and do really well from Texas. You want to see high school football from Texas, in my opinion. You want to see college football from Texas, and you want to see NFL football from Texas. The football, as much as basketball is big in Texas, Texas is a football state.
It's religion
because of the Cowboys. Because of the Cowboys. And that's why you get so good of high school football. So if Houston can figure it out and, white tornado their entire organization, maybe I won't have so much hate for him. But it's just like Deshaun Watson left a bad taste in my mouth. Brandon Cooks right now is leaving a bad taste in my mouth. The way they did Kubiak left a bad taste in my mouth. The way Andre Johnson acted back when his time was ending put a bad taste in my mouth. They just got a lot of punk beeps in that organization, and I can't stand it.
Say how you really feel, man.
I had to say that one with my chest. Don't get me started on the Ravens. The beeps will go away. All right. Anyway, I'm ready for some picks, Coach Lee. Are you ready?
I'm definitely ready. So obviously, like I say, entertainment purposes, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us thus far. We're heading to the home stretch. First game in our pickings for this week. We got Tampa Bay at Cleveland.
It took me a while, but I ended up taking Cleveland.
Really?
Yes, because Tom Brady does not play good against Cleveland. They are playing at the dog pound, and I think Nick Chubb's going to eat them alive because their run defense, in my opinion, no matter where they're ranked, ain't that great.
Wow, now you got me thinking, man.
I'm sorry I had to.
Now you got me thinking. Cause I gotta, like I said, I'm about 5 spots out of first place for the pick'em. So I gotta make some pretty risque calls.
Oh, for sure.
And picks. I might have to change. I might have to go with you on that Cleveland pick. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm going with Cleveland on that one as well. Cincinnati at Tennessee. I know who you have to pick.
Have to pick. No, I think Joe Burrow shows out. Honestly, I really do. I think T. Higgins has another great game. I think they forget about Tyler Boyd. He does well. And Samaje Perine is going to show out. And I really hope the jersey I'm wearing, I don't know if you know who the jersey number is, Jesse Bates, I hope he has a good game too, because he is honestly probably my favorite player on the Bengals team, even after what he did this year. Don't be surprised if he's a Cowboy next year, though, just saying.
I would probably say, I don't know, man. I might go with Tennessee on this one. They're just so gritty and grimy. They're gonna do whatever they need to do to win. They're like the AFC version of the Lions, but they deliver.
Yes.
So I'll go with Tennessee on that one. Houston at Miami. We already know everybody's pick on that one.
Probably the easiest pick of the day. I got the Dolphins.
Sorry, babes. Got the Dolphins as well. Chicago at the Jets.
Man, where is Unc when I need him? Jets, Jets.
Ditto. especially Fields playing today, just gonna beat up on Chicago, man.
I think Mike White's going to have a day.
The Falcons at the Commanders.
I got the what the fucks.
Same here as well. Shout out to my brother Kel. We got Denver at Carolina.
This, I believe, when we were talking, was the toss-up. These teams are so bad.
Terrible.
I went Denver.
I'm going Denver as well. Baltimore at Jacksonville.
The hater in me wants to pick Jacksonville, but I'm not. I'm going Baltimore.
I agree with you. Baltimore also. Chargers at Arizona.
Again, I don't like either of these teams whatsoever, but I got to go with the Chargers.
I got the Chargers also. Raiders at Seattle.
Man, this is easy. I'm going with Dominique. Yeah, just kidding. I'm going Seattle.
Seattle as well. Dominique going to have to hide another week.
If they upset, I swear he better come out the woodwork. I want to hear him say something if they can pull out that upset.
He's been quiet, man. I don't see him post where they've actually told him it's okay to come out and play, man. He's been MIA. The Rams at Kansas City.
Kansas City blowout.
Yes.
They already got the barbecue started early.
By far.
Man, it gets really cold in Kansas City. I wonder if they still do the Kansas City barbecue during the tailgates, even when it's cold as hell.
It's got to be hard keeping that pit going.
Oh, gotta be.
The Saints at San Francisco.
Who dat? The Aints, the No's, and the 49ers.
Niners as well. Green Bay at Philly.
And this is my shock of the week. I got Green Bay.
Okay. I got Philly. I think, Rodgers with that broken thumb. They're playing at the link. And Philly can't afford to lose. They do not want to have to go into Christmas Eve with a must-win situation in Dallas. They don't want to. All the pressure will be on them. So they've got to keep winning.
I still think the Vikings get the 1 seed somehow.
I can possibly see that as well.
If the playoffs have to go through Minnesota, that's bad for a lot of teams. Watching that New England-Minnesota game, my wife said that it's so annoying. I'm like, what? She was like, just do you hear the drum? Do you hear the people? Do you? It's. I'm like, yeah, no. It's like being on a Viking ship. That stadium is so loud, and these fans love that team. Everybody's into it. It is a whole thing on Sunday. That horn, the drums, the fans. You are literally living the life of a Viking when you go to that stadium. I think they built it like that on purpose for that sound too.
Yes. It's kind of a narrow stadium.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to see the new one. I did see the old stadium they had. But this environment looks a lot. It's almost like they're on top of you.
Yeah. And it's still not even fun.
Our fans are insane.
No, they are absolutely insane. I'll tell you why I know that too. Last year, opening game, Bengals versus Ravens. That stadium had more Vikings fans than Bengals fans in it.
She said the old one was the same way. It is hard to hear on the field.
I bet. I mean, there's just something so cool. I wish I could go to a game in Minnesota, but it's cold 75% of the year there. I just want to know what it sounds like when you get a skull. I just want to know what that sounds like in person. It seems like it'd be so cool.
I know it would be. I grew up next door to a Viking fan, and man, he would game days, face paint, jersey, loudness in the backyard. Yeah, the whole thing, man.
I think I got a soft spot for the Vikings mainly because of my dad. My dad was a Vikings fan in the 70s. That was his team growing up. My dad was born in 65, and his team as a kid was, the Fran Tarkenton era back in the 70s. And he was like, they were good. They just could never win a championship. Yeah, he was like, they went to 4 Super Bowls and they lost all 4. I was like, oh, so it wasn't as bad, or it was worse than the Bengals. They went to 2 and lost 2. They're like, nah, it was worse because it was pretty consecutive. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. But no, yeah, that's why I kind of got a soft spot for the Vikings. And whenever I see him play or I see him do something, I'm just like, damn, only if they didn't have Kirk Cousins, they could really be something.
Right. She says it's definitely ain't nothing like it. I bet it is.
Hey, they're close enough to me. I'm right in Cincinnati. I'm close enough to that stadium to where I could make a weekend out of it if I decided to.
Hey, I love to see them in Indianapolis, man. Every time I went there, had a blast. Food's great. People are awesome. Yeah.
I mean, you got the Twin Cities there, man. That's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
St. Paul.
St. Paul,
I mean,
yeah.
it's great. I also want to go, man. There's a whole thing. I know there's not a huge baseball following in the group, I believe, but I would want to go to a Twins game too. Target Field.
Yeah.
It looks enormous. I like the Twins back when I was young because I liked Joe Mauer because he was big back in the late 2000s.
She said, come on out. Drinks on me.
All right, Coach Lee. Well, we're going to plan a trip here soon.
And the last game for our pick'ems for the week, we have Pittsburgh at Indianapolis.
I feel sandwiched here because I'm in Cincinnati, and then you got Pittsburgh over here, and then Indianapolis over here.
Right.
Who am I kidding? I hate Pittsburgh. I got Indy.
I got Indy as well. Shout out to Coach Ballard, man. Keep it going.
I just want to see I want Jeff Saturday to end so good and shut all the people up that were in the freaking boost. This is a disgrace. The coach can blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you do realize you're going to have to work with this asshole again one day, right?
Right.
Like,
you're talking
he was just in the booth and you're talking crap, not about him, but the fact that they hired him. So you're talking more crap about Indy. I get it. But you're talking like this is Jeff Saturday's job he's taking. And you got the balls to say that knowing he's coming back eventually and you're going to say something like that?
Yeah.
That's why I hate Bill Cowher. I had the inkling of respect left for Bill Cowher just because of his history as a coach and after what he said. And same thing with Joe Thomas. Both of them go up Schitt's Creek. I hope neither of you ever get in the Hall of Fame, but I think one of them already is.
Yeah. Pittsburgh stays in the basement. Man.
Those are our picks for the week. Yeah, that's our picks for the week, ladies and gentlemen. We do want to give you some time to get your lineup set with all the information that you gathered from today. But like I asked Coach Lee earlier, there is something I did want to talk about for a quick little 5-10 minute thing if he's got the time. OBJ, do you think he will be a Cowboy? Because there's a lot of stuff going around saying that whoever won that game between the Giants and the Cowboys was where he was going to go. And in my opinion, going to the Giants is just a bad idea, even if they would have won. His best case scenario is the Cowboys because he does not have to be the superstar there. CD can take that. Michael Gallup can even take number 2. All he's got to do is be there and be a scapegoat, catch a few balls, be out there, be a what's the word I'm thinking of? Be a spectacle. Just be there. And Jerry don't even got to pay him that much. He can give him 4 years, $20 million maybe. I don't know. I don't know what a decent price is for a receiver. But in my opinion, his best case scenario honestly was the Cowboys because I heard Michael Irvin talking his shit to Stephen A. Smith this week, and it was hilarious. I'll send you that interview. It was great. Michael Irvin was just going off and doing I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing it. He's hilarious. But I think best case scenario is Odell does go to Dallas. Will he? That's up to Jerry, and if Jerry wants to add a new piece to Jerry's world. But you're the Cowboy fan. You're right down there in good old Arlington, Texas, I believe is where you said you're from or where you're staying. So what is your opinion?
First off, I'm from the great city of Duncanville.
There we go. That must have been Unc.
And I currently live in Cedar Hill, another great and awesome city. But the studio is in Arlington, not too far from the stadium.
I'll get it right next time, I promise.
Oh, it's all gravy. I just got to shout that out for the people that is here. They even got a rep, man. I'm from Duncanville.
Hey, here we go. Hey,
I'm with Duncanville. But I will probably say I see him coming here if the price is right, obviously. I do like the option of him coming here because I see him, like you said, even being, wide receiver 3, which means he's a lot in the slot, which is going to keep those safety honest in the middle of that field, which means Gallup and CD are going to have man coverage on the outsides. I love that option. The only way I think if Jerry was doing it by himself, check already be cut. But Steven is the cheapskate. He's the one, as they would say, is fiscally responsible. The price is going to have to be right. But I see him if he does come. I see him coming here and having success. I'm optimistic, but I'm not totally committed to it, to be honest. Just because of the track record we have with free agents, we like to build through the draft. We like to mold and develop our own. I can probably say now if something weird happens, where Philly loses tonight, and we're only a game back or a game and a half back at that point, he'll be here. I see that.
Very nice. I really just wanted to get that opinion off you. That was my question of the day. I was holding it back for the end of the show instead of smack dab in the middle. But yeah, I think best case scenario, best fit for him is Cowboys. And yeah, I think you're right. I think Jerry probably would have already had that check cut. So I guess we wait for this week of games to go by. Maybe we'll hear something on Monday about where OBJ might want to go.
He's here. He's supposed to be. He's slated to be here on for a visit on the 5th, which is the next morning after we play the Colts.
Gotcha.
So we
very
shall
nice. Very
see.
nice.
So you got shout outs.
Well, I got you as always, Coach Lee, always holding it down. Classic. Hope you enjoyed them fights last night. Can't wait to have you back next week. 2, missed you as always. Can't wait to get you back too. Will, I will see you Tuesday. Shout out to everybody else in the brand, and shout out to all you guys in the comments. You guys are fantastic. You guys killed the comments today. Bree, Jamie, Cedric, Unc was in there. There's a few others. I'm sorry I'm forgetting your names, but I know Coach will shout them out for me. Yeah, man, we're going to set up for a great – shout out to Cooper. Got a great day of football coming our way, and, yeah, that's about all I got.
Hey, shout out to my main man, Jake, man, not from State Farm. Appreciate you hanging out with me today, knocking this thing out of the park. Shout out to Anthony, Cedric, Jamie, John, Bailey, Bree, and Unc. Thank y'all for hanging out with us today. Hey, like Jake had stated earlier, like, comment, share. Get in the comments. We feed off their energy. We need their energy. We want their energy. I don't know, man. The Cowboys not playing today. I won't be totally vested in football. I might shampoo my carpets or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I'll
definitely be peeking in, watching closely.
Without the Patriots playing, I got a few little chores I got to do around here, but I'm gonna let Jamie enjoy her Sunday football because she was cheering on the Patriots for me, so I think she might make me watch a little bit of it. I was like, if it's close in the 4th, let me know and I'll come down and see it. But other than that, I'm gonna try to clean up our room a little bit. Give the dogs a bath because the dog's looking like they want a bath. No, they're not. And he looks like he wants to go back to sleep.
We appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys be here tomorrow night at 7:30 as we do the play call sheet, where we go through all the games, news of the day, and inside look into the Monday Night Football game. As always, appreciate you guys hanging out with STWF, the big brand. Thank y'all very much. Have a good day. Peace.
See?